The history of the game Pickleball. In 1965, after playing golf one Saturday during the summer, Joel Pritchard, congressman from Washington State, and Bill Bell, successful businessman, returned to Pritchard's home on Bainbridge Island to find their family sitting around with nothing to do. The property had an old badminton court, so Pritchard and Bell looked for some badminton equipment and could not find a full set of rackets. They improvised and started playing ping pong paddles and perforated plastic ball. At first, they placed the net at badminton height of 60 inches and volleyed the ball over the net. As the weekend progressed, the players found that the ball bounced on the asphalt surface and soon the net was lowered to 36 inches. The following weekend, Barney McCullen was introduced to the game of Pritchard's home. Soon the three men created rules relying heavily on badminton. They kept in mind the original purpose, which was to provide a game that the whole family could play together. Where does pickleball got its name? In the summer of 1965, pickleball was founded by Joel Pritchard, Bill Bell, and Barney McCullen in Bainbridge Island, Washington. Within days, Joanne Pritchard had come up with the name pickleball, a reference to the thrown-together leftover non-starters in the pickle boat of crowd races. Many years later, as the sport grew, a controversy ensued when a few neighbors said that they were there when Joanne named the game after the family dog Pickles. Joanne and Richard family have held fast for decades. The dog came along a few years later and was named after the game. The nature of the game pickleball. Pickleball is a fast-paced sport that has many similarities to tennis, badminton, and table tennis or ping pong. It is played on a level court with short-handled paddles and a perforated hollow plastic ball that is volleyed over a lawnel. Matches feature two opposing players or singles or two pairs of players or doubles. And the sports can be played either outdoors or indoors. Pickleball was invented in the United States in 1965, and in the early 21st century it experienced rapid growth. It is now played worldwide by people of all ages and skills levels.
I'm Rendon A. Mamusog. My report is all about court and dimension and also fundamental skills of pickleball. Standard pickleball court happens to be around the same size as a doubles badminton court, and the court measures 44 feet long inclusive of lines and 20 feet wide inclusive of lines. The net height of a pickleball court is 36 inches high at the sidelines and 34 inches high in the middle. Yes, this court happens to be very similar to a tennis court. The court is striped with right and left services courts and a 7-foot non-volley zone in the front of the net, which is often referred to as. Here is the 7 fundamental skills of pickleball. First is move your feet and bend your knees. Second, watch the ball and hit the ball out in front of your body. Third, keep your paddle up. Expect the ball to come back. 4. Be patient. 5. Keep the ball low. 6. Communicate. Last is let the out balls go.
Good day, everyone. I am Melanie Manning, and now let's proceed to the role in playing pickleball. There are 7 roles in playing pickleball. Role number 1: each point begins with a serve. The pickleball game, and each point starts with a serve. The player on the right side of the court, facing their opponents, starts the serve. You serve diagonally to your opponent into the right or left service area. The serve must clear the kitchen, including the line. The second role, your serve must be underhand. A pickleball serve must be with an underhand stroke with contact below the waist Your arm must move in upward arc when you strike the ball. You can hit the ball out the air as most players do, or you can drop the ball on the ground and hit. The goal of the pickleball serve is to put the ball in play. This is quite different than a tennis serve, where the goal is to serve overhand aggressively to win the point. The rule is each point continues until a fault. After the serve, gameplay continues until a fault is committed. A fault ends a point. In pickleball, there are basically three types of faults. There are the serve does not clear the kitchen, including the line. Second is a shot is hit out of bounds, landing behind the baseline or outside the line. And the third fault is a shot is hit into the net. The fourth rule is you can't volley in the kitchen. The 7-foot zone on each side marks the non-volley zone or kitchen. This means you can never hit a volley, which is a shot hit out of the air while having any part of your body in the kitchen or even on the kitchen line. And you can't let your momentum carry you into the kitchen after a volley either. In the fifth rule, you can hit ground strokes in the kitchen. If your opponent hits a short shot landing in the kitchen, what we call a dink, you can enter and hit from the kitchen. Dinks are a defensive shot and one of the most important parts of the pickleball strategy. Often your best move after moving into the kitchen to field a dink is to dink right back to your opponent's kitchen. In the sixth rule, the ball must bounce on both sides before either team can volley. Before any player can hit a shot out of the air, the ball must bounce at least once on each side. This means if your partner is serving and you start up at the kitchen, you're in a dangerous position because the returning team can hit a shot right at you. And if you react with a volley, that's a fault. You lost the point. This rule keeps serving back team back on the baseline to start. Without it, the serving team could easily rush the net and gain an unfair edge every time. The return team would struggle to ever gain the serve and get points as well, covered in our next rule. In the last rule, you only win points on your serve. In pickleball, you only win points in your serve and you continue serving until you lose a point. After winning each point on your serve, you switch sides with your partner and serve to the other opponent. This is the terminologies in pickleball. Ace. This is a serve that is not returned by the opponent. Point is won on serve without being returned. Second, approach shot. Ball is hit while moving in forward motion towards the pickleball net. Backcourt. The area near the baseline, roughly a few feet inside the court from the baseline. Backspin, also called slice or shove. Applying spin to the ball by striking it with high to low motion, causing the ball to spin in the direction of its flight direction. Grip. The manner that you hold the paddle handle with your hand or the material that is wrapped around the paddle handle to protect it and provide cushioning. Ground stroke. Hitting the ball after one bounce compared to a volley, which is hit a midair. Half volley. A ground stroke shot where the paddle contacts the ball immediately after it bounces from court. The ball is still low before it has risen to its maximum bounce height. Next is mid-court. The middle area on the pickle court between non-volley zone and the baseline. Non-volley zone. The 7-foot section of court on either side of the net. Pickleball players are not allowed to volley the ball in the zone. It includes all lines surrounding the zone, also known as the kitchen and the non-volley zone.